Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading. Before we begin, this could be past, present or future energy, but for me as a reader, the energy truly begins as soon as you are guided towards watching this reading. This message will resonate with you if it is meant for you. If it does not resonate, please be sure to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter, because they are all important regarding love, as this is a love reading, Virgo. If you feel divinely guided towards a personal reading with me, that information will also be in the description box below. So let's get started. In your premeditation, I felt this sense of you needing to process your thoughts, having quite a lot of thoughts running around in your head and really not being able to make sense of every single thought individually because there were so many. It was as though you couldn't focus on one. And the vision that my guides gave me with this, there were people and they were running around, and this wasn't just a room. They weren't running around a room. This was a large amount of people in a hall, and the hall was dark, and they were just running and they were panicking. They couldn't get out of this hall, and these people represented your thoughts, Virgo. And you were actually, so you and your being in itself, you were sat there and you were on the floor in this room because you were overwhelmed with this, all of these people running around, and suddenly these people, these thoughts that you had, they realised that they needed to come to you and be processed through you in order to get out of this hall, so this dark hall. And they started jumping onto you, and as they jumped onto you, so all of these thoughts piled on top of you as you were sat there in the middle here, collapsed in a way, and guarding yourself and shielding yourself, they started jumping on, and as they did, they faded away into light. And one by one, even though it felt overwhelming at first, and these people were all just on top of you, just really just bombarding you, and in a way you were already quite guarded. As soon as they processed that and they faded and they went into the light, this room was getting less and less crowded, and the panic was slowly turning into a sense of resolution. I would like to say, actually, a sense of resolution, because it was this sense of there is no door, there is no way out of this. And you were on the floor still, so as this room became less and less crowded, you were still on the floor, you were still laying there, but there was this sense of relief, this sense that you had been able to get through this experience, and now you were in the hall, and we may have left this still in a sense of you still were in this hall, you still were feeling a sense of disconnection, but you were able then to breathe. So it built up over time, and all of a sudden these thoughts that were running around, these people as they conveyed themselves, people running around, so it felt very physical for you. It felt very much like the experience for you was real, right? Even if these were just thoughts, it felt very real to you. When they jumped on top of you, again, that's more overwhelming than, because you were trying to shield yourself in the first place, so it felt more intense than them just running around and not noticing you. And in a way, when they did notice you, it did feel almost like you weren't going to get through this, but then you did, and all of these thoughts turned into light. So I have to say as well, as I was looking onto this and looking into your mind, looking into your thoughts, a couple of these running people, because this is a lot of people in this room, they ran up like I was in a way a lens, and they placed themselves, I guess, ran up to me like there was a door where I was, and they kind of stuck themselves against this invisible window, and it's like they were calling for help. So I guess that's when it turned. That's when it turned, when this individual noticed I was looking and observing, and they came up to this window. That's when they had this realization that they had to run inside you, and that would then be the door. So yeah, so that was quite long. I'm sorry, I had to convey really every part of that, because I feel like for one of you that's going to be quite significant. And now we're going to go into the reading. Actually, I will start with the singing bowl, because we do have quite an intense energy around this connection. This is a love reading. So what I'm going to ask, Virgo, is just open yourself up to this energy and really allow this noise to roll through your senses, and take a long breath in, and release any of that energy, and imagine that light that flows through you. We now open ourselves up to the energy that we're about to receive. We welcome love, we welcome light, and we are thankful for any of the messages that come through to us, and any of the divine guidance that allows us to align with our purpose and intentions that are positive and loving. We are ready. Beautiful. Okay, the first card out for you, Virgo. I am being drawn to pull this out because this did come out, but before I do, let me just say that if you are new to my readings, this is going to be your current situation regarding love and your partner's current situation regarding love. But do remember that because I'm connecting to both of your energy, that this could be vice versa, this could be interchangeable, so take it how it resonates with you. So this goes straight back to the message, Virgo, for you today. The Nine of Swords, this person is in their head. You see how they're holding their head and they're covering their eyes. They don't want to see. I'm getting here, don't allow me to see this. I don't want to see this. And needing to let go of an energy that is all-consuming to you. My guides are showing me a video here of the hands being huge and not yours. So you see this person holding on, they're showing me an image here of huge hands just gripping you and holding you. And I feel like this again is your thoughts, and you're having trouble processing what's in your mind, and I guess what's not part of your mind. It's just part of outside influences that are really distorting your perception. But this is telling me that you're letting go of this now, because if we remember the vision that I had, these thoughts turned into light. So they ran into you, they ran on top of you, and in a way there was a sense of resolution because you were incorporating these energies inside of you. And it was only when you decided to really process this energy and take it as part of yourself and move forward and let that energy go in a way, because there was no door in this dark room. So what you did is you became that door, you became that open antenna in a way, in order to move forward, in order to transcend this energy, in order to absorb this energy, and in a way recycle it, recycling this energy into an energy that is able to guide you into the positive. Whoa, that's interesting. I was going to say guide you into the direction, the path that you're going to go down in a way, but I'm sorry, I'm just distracted because I just said positive, guide you into the positive, and it didn't even cross my mind, the word positive. So now I'm thinking these dark thoughts, it's as though you're thinking, are these a part of me? Because in yourself, in your light, you are a loving being, you are a being full of light, and that's your belief system, isn't it, Virgo? You're searching for higher meaning, you're searching for higher purpose, and that's positive energy. That's, in a way, it's as though you take the dark and you transcend it into light, you analyze it to a point where it becomes light, and that's high vibrational energy. You're lifting yourself up. So, and my guides are drawing me towards the swords here and how they build on top of one another in this card, until they reach the top and until they reach the 9. And it's saying it's as though each of these swords, because swords represent an intellect and they represent clarity and authenticity, it's like each of these swords, even though they may be these thoughts that are running around in your head that perhaps were lost in a way, trying to find a door, it's as though now you're building with them, you're using them to create to create doors, to create your own open mind, and reaching the 9, this is the end of a cycle. Yeah, my guides are saying, I feel this card as it's a 9. The 10s are about the beginning of a new cycle and the end of another cycle. The 9s are about the complete end. So whatever this is, Virgo, I feel like right now you're focusing on being that open antenna. And this card, this person in this dark room, this could have really impacted your ability to see things clearly. This is about you being able to function, Virgo, and with this card, it's as though you aren't fully able to function when you can't analyse things in the correct way. And Virgo, you're all about analysing situations and finding a way to ground yourself in those situations. You're not about distorted reasoning. You are reasoning, Virgo. So it felt in a way like you'd lost yourself for a moment there. And the 3 of Swords is the next card. I feel really loving energy, Virgo, around this reading. And it's beautiful, and the vision I had was beautiful. So it's interesting because the cards that are coming out are all cards really saying that you're releasing, and this card to me represents healing, core healing, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting releasing. And they say these swords come out of this heart, these core wounds, they come out, and I'm not going to say that, Virgo. I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to say that because I feel like these swords represent authenticity, they represent truth, they represent the ability to create. And what I'm getting here is you're coming towards this relationship now, and you're taking these swords in your heart, and it's not a negative. You're saying, this is my authentic ability to create and invest in a relationship. This is my truth. I am intellectually guided towards this relationship. I'm approaching it in a rational way, because the 3s relate back to the Empress, and the Empress represents unconditional love, and she represents being able to give birth. She is the maternal energy. She is the mother of the deck. So when I see the number 3, I think that's quite a spiritual number. It's saying that you're on the right path, it's saying that you're in alignment. And when I think of the swords in themselves, they represent intellect, and when I see these penetrating that heart, Virgo, I see you directly incorporating that Empress energy into your new relationship in a way that is so far evolved in your mind because of all of these thoughts running around, this community of thoughts running around, really being able to jump into you and process, and you becoming the antenna. You're really coming to a place now where you can use that and you can be that light. And to me, I'm thinking of the storms, and I'm thinking of the rain in this card. And I'm thinking how storms are natural occurrences. the weather is a natural occurrence, and it's almost as though this is natural to you now, to contribute in such a way where you just want to be able to, how do I say this? You're not going to create any surface level experiences, love experiences, are you? You're not really going at this from a view where you're, I think in a way, you just know the seriousness of commitment, but you also know the intellectual and rational aspect of it that's going to move it forward. But you're doing so with your heart, you're doing so with the Empress energy, that love energy, that I feel like you're very much a watery earth sign. You're very much I feel like Virgo, you are a combination really of all of the different energies, I feel like, within you, and I feel like that's why you can be quite a complex reading, you can be quite a complex character to comprehend. The next card is the Seven of Pentacles. You're being a little bit hard on yourself. What I'm getting here is your work, your hard work, and what you've had to get through to get to this point. It's growing, okay? And I feel like what's happening is you're feeling as if you're questioning whether it's growing. You're questioning whether what you're putting in, because the Pentacles are about commitment, they're about your values and your morals and what you seek as worth, what you feel is worth. And you're thinking, is this going anywhere? And this isn't the relationship itself. This is you thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I going into this and communicating the aspects of myself that are going to put this relationship on the right path, on the right track? And you're thinking, and it's also in life as well, I feel like some of you, this could be outside circumstances where you're just wondering, if I invest myself, am I really investing myself, or is this, these are doubts by the way you're having, so this isn't the reality. It's like, am I investing myself, or am I just going to waste? Am I just not really being able to, I can't convey it the right way. It's am I going to succeed in the way that I want to? And this is Spirit saying, yes, you are coming to a place of success. You just need to wait, because you're planting those seeds and you're growing. And sometimes the growth itself is what transcends you to this deeper level of energy, because you've had to process all of that. You've had to go through that journey. Because if you just went to the destination, you would miss out on all of the lessons, all of the great intricacies of that growth in itself. If you're just given a growth, if you're just given success, then fundamentally, is it really success, Virgo? Because success is about the growth, it's about the path to success. It's not essentially in the success itself. It's about you trying and you persevering. And I feel like that's what Spirit is saying. It's saying that you've been persevering and you're sitting there and you're staring at your pentacles. This is what you've built already. This is a 7, and 7 is very much a high-minded number, in my opinion. So you're looking upon this and you've built these pentacles and you're just thinking, is this good enough? Is this really what I wanted to create? And Virgo, it's these doubts in your mind, but they're not manifesting themselves into reality. I feel like whatever this is, it's coming to fruition. It's coming to fruition in the right way, in the way that it was meant to, because of everything you've learned from this. Not only that, but how you've built yourself over the years. You are who you are. And in a way, you appreciate who you are. You take on the challenges that you've had to face and you look at them as something that is in itself potential. You know, it's not just the surface level. It's not just the end goal, is it for you, Virgo? It's about learning and growing. You love the journey. But again, you're just taking this moment and you're, in a way, you're deeply hurting because you're doubting yourself. You're doubting whether the journey is enough. So maybe this is outside circumstances as well, Virgo, in your life that are perhaps coming to your mind in this relationship. But I'm feeling so much love in this relationship. I mean, perhaps this is just you haven't been communicating this with your partner, because I'm seeing one person in this card. I'm seeing one wand, and it's as though perhaps you're kind of trying to not hide this from your partner, Virgo. It's more like you don't think it's going to benefit the relationship in order to fully articulate how this is making you feel at this time. I have to say that the camera is going out of focus and in focus quite a lot, Virgo, and it's because the energy is quite strong around your reading, so I wouldn't mind that. It hasn't been happening much for any of the other readings, but as soon as I got to your reading, the camera was just moving all over the place, and I saw that as positive. I saw that as good energy. I've been there's sage, there's frankincense, and it's very much a beautiful energy around us. I guess contemplation. It feels as though you may not be making a decision at this time, but it feels like in your mind, because of all these thoughts, they feel like mini decisions. They feel like little decisions. And my guides, I have this feeling of, should I process this? Should I process this? So perhaps those thoughts that were running around in your head, you were thinking, do I process these people, or do I, the people are the thoughts, do I process these people? Do I let them jump onto me and fade into light, or do I let it go? And when you let it go, they're just running, they keep running around in your mind. So it's as though you can sit on the floor and you can let them run back and forth, or you can accept that they're going to jump onto you, which is quite a overwhelming experience. But once they do, they absorb into you and fade, and when they absorb, they turn into light. So it's very much a growth experience. And I have to say, well, okay, this wanted to come out, so I'm going to expand. We were just talking about the Empress, and the Empress has made an appearance. This is the first major arcana in your reading, Virgo, and this is one of the best major arcana in my opinion. This is the creative energy. She gives birth to ideas. She gives birth because she is the creator, and the reason why she's the creator is because she has unconditional love and a higher understanding. This heart, this stays there forever. This is permanent. She accepts the situation and she moves forward with the situation. So if you're embodying the Empress energy in this relationship, you're looking at your partner and you're seeing all the positive aspects in them and all the love inside of them, and you're using that again. You're using that to create more light, more abundance, and you're not critical. I feel like it's interesting because you're not critical of your partner at all, Virgo. You're very accepting of your partner, but you're being highly critical of yourself. And the stars on the Empress's crown, these represent the 12 stars of the, I feel like here you're embodying all of the zodiac signs. You're thinking about all of the different characteristics, and in a way you're making the most positive aspects of those characteristics of those zodiac signs part of your personality at this time. And I feel like this is a choice, because I said making. This is a choice to do that, because you could go into low vibrational energy if you wanted to, because it is overwhelming, Virgo. You're in a dark hall, but you're choosing to transcend that energy. You're choosing to take the higher vibrational energy of the zodiacs and take a higher perspective in order to really take a higher ground in this relationship and this experience because you want to have the most fulfilling experience of love. You want the most serious and committed experience of love. You don't want to go through anything that takes you out of this energy. And that's why even the Three of Swords here, which can be a card of healing, can be a card of core hurts. Actually, you turned, Virgo, you turned this card for me intuitively into a card of intellectually moving forward with your heart to the core. And I did mention the Empress, so I'm glad that came out. It tells me that very much this message is in alignment with the truth of your situation at the moment, if this does resonate with you, Virgo. And you see how there's a forest behind this lady, okay, she has integrity, okay, but when we look at this, she's looking upon what may seem negative to other people. So let's say the other zodiacs all together, we all have all of the zodiac signs in a way in our birth chart, okay, but if you see here and the energies around us, she's looking upon this, and this could be, let's say, the lower vibrational characteristics of maybe your zodiac sign, other people's zodiac signs. She's looking upon this and she's raising it up to the forest behind her. She's raising this up inside herself because she's strong, but the strength that she accumulates within her is based on love, okay? It's not that she's successful like the Emperor, but I mean, we're not going down, you know, what does define success in a way, but it's not that she's established, let's say, like the Emperor, you know, it's that she can sit and she can take time to process her emotions and move forward in a way that is so incredibly loving and non-judgmental that it defines her life in a way. It moves her life forward into a direction that can only be in alignment with love. And when there's unloving situations, she brings love to them. Lovely, really lovely, wow. So the Mother of the deck, she is all of the Kings and Queens combined here, so she's mastered the intuitive and nurturing energies within the deck. The next card and the last card on your side of the spread, Virgo, is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is about being adaptable and going with the flow. So you're feeling an urge here to move forward in this relationship. It's quite a intense pull, and you're sensing that there's going to be a balanced commitment here, a balanced love, and my guides are telling me you know this, Virgo, deep to your core. If we go back to the Three of Swords energy, you know deep to your core that there's something in this relationship that is going to expand further, because now you're in that energy, that flowing energy. You're going to be attracting that to you more. And it's almost like this person has penetrated you. If you think of the wands as arrows of love, it's as though your connection with this individual, as soon as you felt their presence near you. I was going to say linked eyes, but I'm not getting that. I'm thinking as soon as you felt their presence intuitively and deeply within you, that sense of feeling. And it's almost like that feeling then turned into a sensation throughout your body, Virgo, and it pulls you towards this individual, doesn't it? And my guides are showing me a vision here of someone flying. Someone's flying. It's as though there's nothing weighing you down here. This is raising you up. But you're willing here to be adaptable, you're willing to go with the flow in the situation, but in doing so, you're going to be really taking an observational standpoint as well and evaluating as you go. But it's not in a critical way, maybe you're being a little bit critical of yourself at this time, Virgo, but actually no, I feel like you're transcending that as well. It's more that you just want to embrace the experience, and my guides are saying know from the experience. Know from the experience. When you know, you understand something. And for you, because you're being critical of yourself, Virgo, I would say you're thinking the more you understand, the less you feel you understand, actually. So it's as though you just want to keep trying to understand, because there's like a never-ending loop here of you just wanting to understand and realising that there's more to understand over and over again, and it's like a cycle, isn't it? It's a cycle. But you're so drawn to this individual that you can't help but be pulled towards them, and love I'm getting love fascinates you. How beautiful, how beautiful. Love fascinates you. And you do love, if you're the Empress, I mean, you're not evolving to the Empress, you are the Empress energy in your current situation regarding love, Virgo, then you are unconditionally loving, but then you're still thinking, oh, it's fascinating. So you're coming from this in a real, I guess, inspired way, to put it, but you're inspired, but then, you're inspired, but look, Virgo, look at those people running around in your head that, you're shielding yourself from in this dark room. Is that, you're the Empress, but then, the Empress is sitting there, she's comfortable, she's giving unconditional love, but then the next minute she's trying to process all of this energy because it becomes too much for her to bear. So now we're going to look at your partner's current situation regarding love. Current situation, Virgo. We have the King of Wands. Your partner is so determined to make this relationship work, and they're coming from a place of intense passion and curiosity. The King of Wands is the creative energy. They are the creative king. They look over the relationship and they look far into the future, and they see how much this can grow, and then they try and move the relationship forward in that direction, and they're not going to stop until they reach the peak of this relationship. So in a way, I feel like, as we said before, there is no peak, it's in the journey itself. But it just shows you here that they're very much serious about this connection, and when they look at you, they only see this relationship. And they can say that the King of Wands can be too all-consuming. So you think the King of Wands, he's looking, and if you look at his face, he's very, very much persistent. He's a persistent energy. So it may feel like they're not looking too much on their surroundings, they're just so focused on you that it consumes them. So they could have aspirations and goals that they're moving towards, or they could have other passions, okay, with these wands, but really at this time they're just so focused on you that it's hard to concentrate on those. But I'm getting that this is what you both need at the moment. This is what you both need, and in a way it's working to really build you both and raise you to where you need to be. The King of Wands is an inspirational speaker type of energy as well. The King of Wands is someone that may have had to work hard to achieve in an experience, and then in order to do that they've done so in a way that inspires others, and others can be in awe of the King of Wands because they wonder how he could have. Okay, my guides are showing me here, imagine someone that survives, perhaps they went out into the water and they almost drowned and they became stranded in the ocean somewhere. Okay, but then they survived and they came back and they started telling their story to others, and this magical story of them almost giving in and then having the pull to, swim. Let's say they swam and they came across a shore somewhere. they landed on a beach somewhere. You know, that kind of energy here, that's the kind of energy this person has. They will not stop. They will not stop until they have their Empress. And I feel like they're looking at you here, and they feel like they have you. They feel like they have you, Virgo, and that's not a bad thing, is it? That's a good thing, because I feel like here you have unconditional love to give to this individual. But they want to keep hold of you. They want to. They're not stopping. This person is very much a little bit possessive at this time. A little bit possessive. They could be telling you this, but sometimes what I like to say is that sometimes the passion is too intense that they hold it within themselves. Okay, so it could be, you may be feeling this at this time, this individual is very passionate about you, or this could be that there's so much passion that it's in their heart, and their heart is just expanding, because I like to think this fire energy is about having a big heart, a big fiery heart. So they could be at this time, again, trying to protect their hearts because they're so intensely, I would like to say, overwhelmed by you. My guides are overwhelmed by you. Yeah, and it is interesting here how we have the Eight of Wands, and this is directly facing the King of Wands here. So he holds a wand, but then it's like you come in and you have all of these wands, and they're just as strong as that one wand he's holding. You see? It's hard for him to resist. You could surprise him. I mean, it could be that there's something about you. You never fail to surprise the King of Wands. And the King of Wands he's quite reactive to that kind of energy, I get. I'm getting here, every time one of these wands penetrates him, his heart just grows. But it's almost by accident that it grows, so he's not intending it, but then it just happens, and he's becoming more and more passionate about you. And then the next card is the Lovers. So this is the first major arcana for your partner's energy. The Lovers is that core feeling, that urge that I was just saying about, that your partner has. This is that intensifying, and whatever this comes out next to, it intensifies, Virgo. So I'm afraid here that there is very much a lot of passion on your partner's energy, very much. And the Lovers is about being authentic and being bare, following his heart here, not only his head but it's his heart. There's a mountain in the background, and this represents how far your partner wants to go in this relationship. There's the Sun at the top of this card. The Sun represents a safe and secure foundation. It represents being themselves with you here, Virgo. Your partner wants to be themselves with you. They want to give you clarity. They don't want to keep you in the dark about anything like this energy here. They want to be able to show you in the best way possible that they are there for you in a way that's going to build your energy rather than take from your energy. I'm being drawn towards the snake. I'm thinking of seeing you clearly. The snake, I feel like that's very much an energy here of analysing a situation, going in deeper, trying to go where no one else has gone and see what no one else has seen. So they're trying to establish themselves and, I guess, place themselves in a position in your life that's going to show you that they are a leader. They are a leader, they are going to give to this connection. But again, the snake, they don't talk much. In my mind here in this vision, they're not really, they're observing and they're just trying to sliver into this relationship, and not in a good way, in a way of wanting to know every... This person is very ambitious. Let me just say this, Virgo. They want to know everything about you and everything that you like in order to give you that. And in order to give you what you truly... I'm getting need. So need to me is necessity. I don't see need as a bad word, but I feel like here they see your happiness, they see your abundance as a necessity to them. They see you feeling satisfied and the love, you feeling like you're loved as a necessity. It's not just something they want, it's not something they desire, it's nothing superficial to them, it's a basic and fundamental necessity. Yeah, and there's something quite dreamy about this. I'm being drawn towards the cloud here as well, and I'm thinking about daydreaming. I'm thinking of, again, fantasizing about the future and wanting to get to that place. And in a way, I have to say, they see the future that they can have with you. They see this as long term, and because they see the future they have with you, it's like they're feeling that now. They're choosing to feel that now. So this could be a commitment that lasts a lifetime. And it is a commitment that lasts a lifetime, I feel like, with this energy. But they're bringing that in, the highest of the high of you spending your whole lives together. They're bringing that feeling to themselves now. Because they know. It's like this inner knowing within them that this is the one, this is the relationship. So they look at you like a lifetime. Another card, please, for Virgo's partner. Wow. So the next card we have for you, Virgo, is the World. That made a very, very intense appearance there. My cards just flew across the table. The World card is taking a higher perspective. This is, I feel, a full circle of all of the energies combined. They have been preparing themselves for a connection like this. Before they met you, they were... If they weren't doing this, they were behaving in a way, but I'm getting here an image of someone writing down what they want in a partner and what they want out of love connection, getting really in alignment with what their expectations are and what they perceive as a lifelong commitment, a long-term commitment here. And they're dreaming of this, they're fantasizing about this, and they're letting it flow over and over again in their minds. And in a way, they didn't feel ready yet. Before they met you, they didn't feel quite ready, and there was just something missing. It felt like there was something missing, but to them, they filled that void with the thought of something happening, the thought of being able to, I guess, find their ideal love. And for them, their ideal love is just... It's based on love. It's not based on anything superficial. So even though it's idealistic in a way, I feel like that's a good thing here, because they're taking a higher perspective. They're coming from a place of authenticity and pure intention here. There's no ill will behind them. And they're taking on all of this energy, they're expanding their energy, and they're ready now. They feel like they're ready now, and when they entered this relationship, this was their step. This was their step towards the right direction, feeling ready, feeling good enough within themselves, and good enough. Interesting. It's not so much that they didn't feel like they were enough, actually. It's more that situations in their lives felt like they weren't enough, made them feel like they weren't enough. And I'm getting it was not so much the situations in themselves, it was how they reacted to these situations. I feel like this individual was quite sensitive, and they did really take these situations to heart. And then they thought, am I going to be there for someone? Am I going to be able to be this partner that is the King of Wands, that is determined, that is powered by the Lovers card? And I feel like they saw you, and the passion ignited within them, and it told them that they were able to, and that they were always able to. It's just that they were so sensitive and questioning themselves that they in a way withdrew. But they took that step. They're glad they have, because the World card, quite frankly, in its simplest form, can be this relationship means the world to them. Okay? This relationship means the world to them, and because it is all of the energy, they're embodying the fire energy, they're embodying the water energy, they're embodying the earth energy, they're embodying the air energy, and they're taking it together and they're combining it in a way that gives them an enhanced perspective in love, in order to, in a way, Virgo, the same as you, they're kind of mirroring you here in trying to analyze this relationship, trying to comprehend this relationship and understand this relationship. But more so here, because of the world, this is saying to me that they are coming to a full understanding. So it's not that they're so much analyzing now, they're coming to a place where they truly know that this situation means everything to them. This is everything. So I'm quite taken aback by your partner's energy, because it's so certain. And if you see here, there's 3 individuals on these cards and they're all bare. So your partner is giving themselves to you bare. They're opening themselves up to you. They're choosing to be open with you. And they love being open with you. My guides just said they love being with someone who understands them. And this could be, Virgo, that you're just trying to understand them, and the way that you are so open to trying to understand them gives them that sense of comfort. So it could even be that just the act of showing that you're there for them is enough for them to feel like they can be free with you, because there's this energy that you embody that feels so real to them, so raw, so authentic. Oh, I've missed you, Virgo. I've missed you, because your readings are always so beautiful. The next card is the 9 of Pentacles. They're feeling abundant in this connection. The 9 of Pentacles is the card after the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is a card of putting the work in, trying to overcome challenges in order to build a stable foundation, and doing so with persistence and attention to details, and again it's building a foundation, but this is reaping the rewards of that foundation in a way, and being in alignment, being in abundance here, being in harmony with your surroundings. So this person, when they're around you, they feel like they are in a place of harmony, and they can hold themselves up, and I'm getting, this is where I want to be in life. This is where I want to be in life. And you see how they're holding this pentacle, but they're not quite holding this pentacle, they're just brushing this with their hand. It's as though they know you're going to be there for them, and they don't have to, in a way, they know they don't have to hold on to you. They know that you're going to be there. They understand that this is a forever commitment. But even in their times of the most harmony, even in their times where they may feel so free in themselves as an independent energy, they're still kind of, you see, placing their hand just slightly upon these pentacles. And I'm getting here, that's just saying, look, this is my relationship. I have this relationship, and this is, you know, this is great. This is incredible. This is it for me. This is love. So they take great comfort in having you in their lives. You're there for them, even when they're independent, and when they're in their highest vibration energy, they're still thinking of you. Oh, okay, and now I'm being drawn to the face on this card, and I'm getting a sense of feeling sad, okay? So they are not sure if they'd feel this way without you. When they're away from you, they feel your absence. and it makes them feel secure again. It brings them to a place of harmony when they can touch that pentacle. Again, pentacles are about long term, they're about what you perceive as worth, and they perceive you as the highest worth, and you share these mutual values and morals that they find security within that, Virgo. They in that mutual understanding, that balance that you both have, they find security within that, and they feel you when you're not there because they're so used to having that energy. It's as though they've become this energy with you. So it's almost like, my guides are telling me that when they're away from you, it's like half their morals and half their worth and half their values are gone. It's like they've been cut in half. But it's as though their mind's been cut in half. So they're not sure where to look. You see this individual? They're kind of looking up and down. You're not really sure where they're looking. I know that when I looked at this card as I put it down just then, I was guided towards the trees, and immediately I thought of growing something long term. So next card please for, because a tree, you plant that tree, and let's say you planted a tree in your garden and you nurtured that and let that grow, you would know then that that place that you call home is going to be home for a very substantial amount of time. Okay? So that's what I'm getting here with this card, is a sense that this relationship is ingrained in them. And that there's a personal attachment there that feels quite natural to them. It feels like it's part of them, it's in their land. The land of their heart. This is the 9, and the 10 of Pentacles is about family. It is about that secure, like seeing the complete success in home. And now we have the 10 on the Wheel of Fortune, as I was saying that. Let me just let that focus. That could have been an important card for you there because it did take a little bit of time. The 10 is about reaching the top of a cycle and establishing a cycle, knowing what you need to know out of a cycle, having that higher perspective, and now moving forward onto really being divinely guided here onto a path. So there's going to be change. This is the change card, but I feel like this is expected, this is anticipated change. And again, this is for those of you that know me, you would know this already, but the Wheel of Fortune is the divinely guided card. So this tells me that your partner feels like there's a higher purpose to this relationship, and that there is some kind of divine guidance that's pulling them closer towards you. And we do have the 8 of Wands here as well, which is that sense of going with the wind and feeling guided towards something and going with that, adapting with that. So we have this on both your sides, being drawn and pulled to one another. And again, look, there's that snake. You see that snake in the Lovers card we were talking about earlier? That's here as well. And that's again them trying to grasp a deeper understanding, trying to really go into your life and understand you and understand what they see, Virgo, as what is a necessity to you, what they feel is a necessity to you, and they're taking you as part of them. So it's not like they're neglecting themselves, right? They're just wanting to, they're really thinking of you as part of themselves. So, if they're taking a step back, they're taking a step back in order to really establish themselves in a way that can give to you in the right way and receive in the right way. And also, I'm getting this energy here of just wanting to, they're just determined in this relationship. I can't really put this any other way than this urge they have, this genuine urge they have to just grow with you and genuinely enroll, whether that's the challenges or the successes of love. They just want to experience that with you. And I just did see the 11. So this is a 10, but I did just see the number 11. And the number 11 is about synchronicities. The number 11 is about a divine connection. It's about feeling connected, feeling this sense of knowing. I feel like here this is really relating, this energy is really relating to them feeling like they know you, feeling like they've always known you, feeling like you're part of their family before your family, in a sense. So this individual here, and I have to say there's 3 out of 5 cards here for your partner's energy, there's 3 major arcana, and my guides are saying to me that it could have easily been more than 3. And I almost said 5 then. Did you see that? I almost said 5. It could have been all of them. And that tells me that this is about their life purpose. This is about a bigger purpose for them, a higher purpose for them. This energy, this relationship. Because the minor arcana are about the details. Okay, so sometimes I get those to go more into the specifics, but if Spirit wants to convey a message of deeper purpose behind something at this point in time during this reading, as you're guided towards watching this reading, then this is telling me that there's something more to this in their lives, that perhaps they needed to feel a sense of a love with you in order to project them into the right direction here. Because the Wheel of Fortune is at the end of the card, the end of the cards, but as I said that, my guide said to me, the end is only the beginning. So, which it is. The 10s are about, again, at the beginning how I said, the 9 is really the ending, the 10 is more about an ending that's going forward now into a new beginning. And what surrounds that, Virgo? What surrounds that? Faith. Faith surrounds everything, so they have faith here. And when I think of faith, the Fool card is the card that represents faith in the deck. It's about that leap of faith, and the Fool card is the 0 in the deck. So it's not a 1, it's not a 10, it's a 0. Why is it a 0? Because it's not the end or the beginning, because faith surrounds everything you do. Faith surrounds the endings and the beginnings. So your partner here has true faith in this relationship. And the Lovers card is a deep sense of passion. So now I'm going to look at how they perceive you, Virgo, and how you perceive them. This, I feel like this could be either a way they're coming towards you, or something internally that they feel you are. It's however the message wants to come out to you, Virgo. How does your partner perceive you, Virgo? Wow. Wow, oh, Virgo. This is one of the best cards as to come out in how they perceive you. The King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is the perfect partner, and I don't like to define anything as perfect, but I have this rule with my guides where if I have the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles come out in a reading, I have to say their idea of the perfect partner. And your partner here very much is idealizing this relationship, and please don't get worried by that idea. It's very much a dreamy energy. They have the best intentions in doing so, and you see, they see you here, you're holding this pentacle, they feel like you're capable of giving them something long term and devoting. There's devotion here, there's this sense of a connection that's going to be deeply understood, and understood in a way that's going to be able to move forward and not really get into anything that's misunderstandings. Actually, that's what I'm getting. They don't really want to go through any misunderstandings with you. They want someone that understands you. That's what they want, someone that understands you. They want someone that understands them. That was a slip. I'll go into that in a minute. I like to observe those when that happens. They want oh, now that's distracted me. I'm going to have to go into that. I'm sorry, Virgo. So they want someone that understands you. So they see here that you're feeling a little bit misunderstood. They're seeing you're feeling a little bit misguided in your mind, you know, and they're thinking here they want to be the one who understands you in your mind. They want to be the one in that room with you that is, I guess, I'm getting an image here of someone coming into that room as people are jumping onto you and allowing people to jump onto them as well and transcend and absorb the light. So they want to be there with you in this. You know, in a way that's very much dignified and heroic, actually. Now, if we're going to go along the lines of fairy tales and you know, the way your partner is just fantasizing about this connection, it is that sense. But they also feel here that you have the intelligence here, the emotional intelligence that's grounded, right? The Virgo, the earth energy that is very much watery. So you have that emotional intelligence in order to analyze the situations and understand who they are. And I feel like that's very much important to them here, because I'm seeing again this sense with them of this independent energy that just wants to feel you near them. They just want to feel you, Virgo, and when they do, it helps them be themselves. It helps them understand their worth and realise their worth as well. And by that I mean their morals and values. So remember that when I'm saying about their sense of the Pentacles, I'm thinking about their values in life. Sorry Virgo, the camera just ran out of battery, but I came straight back with another battery, so we're going to just carry on. What I was saying was that you really align them with their own path and give them clarity, and when they drop down, you're there to give them a perspective, give them a higher perspective and lift them back up again. And also I feel like they're there for you as well, but I feel like the energy you give them is very much one that motivates them to get to where they need to be in their purpose in life here with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like I have to say that because that is very much the overall message here as well within their energy. And now we're going to move forward, and actually it's interesting because the camera did die, but then as soon as it died, I put a new battery in and it was recharged and ready again to go. So I feel like here that's that sense again of them feeling recharged. I feel like that did come at the right time actually in the reading. So now we're going to look at how they see you. The Justice card. They see you as someone that gives a sense of duty to the connection. So you're the kind of person that is quite giving in the right situations because you understand the trials and tribulations of others, and through that higher understanding you're able to then give in the right way to people, and it's in a way that's quite wholesome. You know, it's not that it's almost like a natural instinct, and they love that about you because they feel like you bring that to the relationship as well, where you look towards them and you try and understand them in a way that's not really critical, is it? It's not really critical, it's constructive. And in a way, criticism is constructive in all senses, but some people can approach criticism in a way that doesn't really benefit or help the situation. But I feel like what you do, Virgo, that's different, that they admire about you, is you always provide them with something insightful, and you always provide others around you with something insightful that's going to build a situation rather than knock it down. And let's say, for instance, there's not a stable foundation. A foundation is very much out of alignment and unstable. Okay, you'll go ahead and you won't knock that foundation down. You'll see what needs to happen and where growth needs to happen in order to make that a stable foundation. You're not the sort of person to give up on situations. If anything, it's the opposite. It's where you see the potential in situations and you see what is there and you analyse in order to bring it to where it needs to be and where it should be and where you see it being. So it's very much a high-minded point of view, and they see you as quite a high-minded individual that has very high values here with the Justice card. You see those scales there? And that sword, that scales, that sword, I was going to say that sword, but I said that scales. Well, that sword, for one, is a sword of authenticity. It's of truth. It's the Ace of Swords, which is big ideas. And then we have the scales on the other hand, which is that balance, that energy of being able to give and receive, but in a way that's very much articulate and intelligent, actually. So which it really aligns with your current energy, Virgo. So they're noticing this about you. And this is underneath the Three of Swords. And what did I say earlier about the swords penetrating your heart and representing an intellectual love? And now we have the Justice card underneath with the sword. I'm getting as well a message that is part of your purpose, Virgo. The Justice card. Dutiful, balanced. They see you. They see your purpose as someone that's able to provide core intelligence here, core heart penetrating intelligence. And then I'm being drawn to the crown. What I'm getting from that is, I have to say the King and the Queen, actually. It's more of that sense of King and Queen, that feeling of being one with one another. Yeah, the king has a queen, the queen has a king. They want to be there for you. They want to match your energy. Yeah, that's the message. It was interesting. I was wondering where Spirit was going with that. But what I'm getting here is they want to match your energy. So if for instance, they see you as this lady, if she were a queen, they would want to match this and be the king of justice. See, sometimes I'm drawn to messages and I haven't quite got to the core of the message, and I'm wondering, do I point that out? And I think, okay, let's see where it goes. And that's a nice message, isn't it? That they want to align with this. They want to align with what you represent. And then the next card is the Two of Swords. They see you as coming to a decision in your life, coming to some sort of crossroads in your life, and this could be this could be happening in the here and now, or it could be in your mind, because we do have that in your energy, Virgo, that sense of needing to get through a lot of these people running around, these people that represents thoughts running around in your head. But this person, they have a blindfold on and they're unable to see the path in front of them with this blindfold on. They're holding these swords up and in a way they're blocked. Okay, you see how their arms are folded, they're blocked, and there's a lot of water behind them. The waters, they represent emotions and feelings, and my guides just said depth. There's a lot of depth to you, and they see that. They see how you don't look, oh, that's why, okay? You don't look at situations at face value. Do you, Virgo? You do not look at situations at face value. You go within yourself and you use your mind and you analyse the situation from within, because you see this person, they're not looking. They're using their mind and analysing the situation from within. This card can say you're using your intuition to move forward, but what I'm getting here is you're using the air energy within you. And again, it's like I said, Virgo, you're a watery earth sign, but you're also a very analytical earth sign at that. So it's as though you have so much within you, so much depth within you, that it's as though you could hold these swords up and one could represent you and one could represent your partner here. And it's as though they want to be in that with you. They want to be part of that with you, part of that depth. And I'm being drawn to the moon at the top of this card, and I'm thinking of the moon as the light in the dark, the clarity in the dark, the person that goes into the dark and is able to find the light. Next card, please, for Virgo. Okay, Virgo, are you a little bit defensive at this time? because we have the Seven of Wands here. They're seeing you as a little bit closed off, that's the word. You're a little bit closed off, and this could be coming back to that person. You were in the room and you were on the floor and you were guarding yourself, weren't you? So that's coming back to this energy, but you've had to climb this. You see this as a mountain and you're above these ones, so you've had to climb this mountain, and you have come up this far for a reason. But while you've been climbing up there have been people that are further down on this mountain, and it's in a way, when you've been evolving, perhaps there's been situations around you that haven't evolved with you, that haven't been able to get up that mountain with you. And I feel like whatever this represents for you, you've taken it to heart. It's been quite hard on you, Virgo, and they see how you don't want to be part of this. It's as though you're on your own journey and you want to evolve, and you're evolving in order to create balance. You're not evolving in order to create imbalance. So any energy that's not raising higher, you're choosing to let go of this energy and to release this energy. They see that in you. They see you as someone that takes the high ground over situations that perhaps you're not meant to fix those situations. You have a tendency to want to fix situations and want to transform situations, and it's a natural instinct for you to care. It's very maternal instinct for you to want to do that, Virgo. And what I'm getting here is you're coming to a place of realizations where you know that some situations are not meant for you to help, some situations that you have to let go of, because I think you understand as well that your energy is quite intense, and even though you could help everyone, Virgo, there's some situations where other people can, and you're letting that go. You're letting other people take situations that are going to help them expand, and you're moving forward on your own situations that are going to really be beneficial for you, and your partner sees that. So, and one of you just said to me, it's not so much beneficial, it's more that, you know, it's the energy. It's relating back to that light again, that love and light. It's as though once you're the Empress and you're trying to move to a place of love and you're trying to bring love to darkness in situations, you have to really be careful of where you invest your time. So I do agree with you there, whoever kind of, that thought that someone just had. I think that's really the case with this card, with the Seven of Wands. So, but your partner does see you as a little bit guarded, but rightly so. The next card is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a intellectual card. They see you as coming forward to them with intellectual communication, and you're able to, it's as though you analyse as you move forward, and this is genuinely the message that comes with the card that I first think of when I think of this card, is you really try to rationalise situations as you move forward, and as you go, try and, in a sense, you can tend to overthink, but you do come to a place of clarity through the overthinking. And this comes next to the Eight of Wands, and that's the energy I was picking up on. So if you think of this energy as the perspective, and this is your current situation, it feels as though your partner is seeing you for how you're feeling. They're trying to understand how you're feeling at this time, and they're picking up on some of the energies that may be around you at this time. So you see this? They're holding this sword. This sword is a sword of truth. So you're coming towards them and you're being quite honest with them and authentic. My guides are saying someone they can trust. So the way you're interacting with them, the way you're being quite forward with them, with your communication right here, and this may just be an intense passion and an intense urge to just be honest with them in whatever way is possible at this time, because you are quite guarded. They're seeing the truth in these. They're seeing the truth in your communication, and that's making them feel quite safe and secure. and I'm being drawn towards the wind. So you see these trees? We're going back to those trees that were planted on that land. You see, there could be wind here, there could be wind, but the trees, they don't move, do they? They move in the wind, but they don't, they're not going anywhere. They will embrace that wind, they will ruffle, and if anything, they will be beautiful in the storm. There's a certain beauty in the trees that ruffle, and the leaves that fall, and then they come back in the spring, and there's a beautiful transformational energy here that comes with that, and that's what I'm picking up on here. It's as though you develop your thoughts, and as you move forward you keep growing and growing and growing, and there's such a beauty in it. It's very natural for you, and that relates back to your honesty. That's what they're telling me. It's relating back to your honesty and how you are authentic already, but the more realizations you come to, the more you learn. It's as though the more authentic you are, because the more you understand about yourself, the more you understand about being able to communicate yourself clearly. So that is the way your partner perceives you, Virgo, and now we're going to move on to how you perceive your partner. How do you perceive your partner? Okay, the Ten of Swords, Virgo. Why is this here? I would say there's so much love around this card that it's quite ironic in itself, because this card to me represents swords coming out, releasing swords that perhaps... Okay, I need to explain this. I need to show you this way up, just to show you what I'm feeling from this card. You see them as someone that has tried situations over and over again that perhaps weren't serving them, that perhaps weren't in their highest good, that did not resonate with them clearly, that did not align with their thoughts clearly, because the swords again are about thoughts. And through these testing and trying, they may have established themselves. Actually, what I'm getting is they did establish themselves. The 10 is about the highest point you can go, but I'm not getting that sense of desolation from this. I'm getting that they did establish themselves from this energy, but there's a certain level of this did hurt them in some way. You're seeing some kind of hurt from having to build themselves, having to grow this much, and trying, and perhaps through success they felt more misunderstood, Virgo. That's what I'm getting. Like through some level of establishing themselves, whether that's that there's some sense that they weren't able to quite go about it in a way where their thoughts were truly understood or truly manifested in the right way. That's what I'm getting. My guide said manifested. Their thoughts didn't manifest. So quite a complicated message here, but I feel like you'll be able to understand that more than me, because remember, Virgo, I am the messenger, so this is your energy. So I feel like you need to use when this happens, we work together and you use your intuition as well, and we can get through this. So these swords are coming out. They're finally feeling heard, they're finally feeling understood, and this, I'm hearing someone say, nobody can understand them the way I understand them. Nobody can understand them the way I understand them. Okay, so, and those swords, they're coming out. Where are they coming out? They're coming out into the dark. And what happens in the dark, Virgo? You create light in the dark. The 10. Another message for Virgo. How do they perceive their partner? Yes. This is my yes card. So, interesting. I have to say this, that in my head then I was questioning myself. I was thinking, how was I supposed to convey that message? And as I said that, the Ace of Swords came out, which to me is truth. So when this happens, it's my guides telling me that, no, I did convey the message properly. It's a yes, it's a true. So that's quite nice. And that could have been just its own message for one of you, that maybe there was a hidden meaning behind that confusion that I just had. But now we do have the Ace of Swords. So you see them as someone, you know, overall as well, as someone quite honest, someone, my guides are saying, trusting again, someone that you can trust. And I'm getting an emotional energy towards this. So this isn't just you can trust them. It really makes you feel quite, your heart, it's as though you could cry at how trustworthy this individual is. It feels like it's been so long since you've been able to approach an individual that you can really tell anything to, and they'll give you, not only will they try and understand you, but they'll give you clarity towards what you're confused about as well, because I feel like you're coming to them and you're not only telling them everything positive about you, you're also telling them everything that you find confusing. And I'm getting that, you know, sometimes it's hard for you to tell others what you don't understand yourself. It's hard for you to convey emotions that you don't understand yourself. But when you come to this individual and you tell them how you're feeling, it makes you feel a little bit exposed here, because you don't understand. Okay, but this person somehow understands, somehow gives you clarity, and you never expected this. And I have to say that I don't like using the word never, and somehow I didn't really like using that either. So again, I'm feeling that sense of criticalness within you, that sense, because I'm in your energy here, so I'm feeling like this sense of criticalness within this, and also again substance, because I don't usually say never, but when I think of never, I think that is really the highest point you can go of certainty, to say never. So to me, that's telling me that there's this sense here that there's true substance to the amount of trust that you have for this individual, and it's the substance that you know, the significance, you know, if you want me to clarify, of how much you can trust them. Because you could think, okay, well, I trust some people, I try to trust people and place my trust into them, you know, in the world. In a way, I like to have a hope that people are genuine, you know, that's what I'm getting from you. But when you see this individual, it's on a high level, right? And the white hand, the authentic hand, the pure hand, the ace is a big idea as well. So you see them as having big ideas, you know, high-minded as well, just like you. And we did point that out in your reading, so I felt like I had to point that out, that I said that the sword in the Justice card was like the Ace of Swords, and then when you perceive your partner here, there is the Ace of Swords. So, and I feel like that had trouble focusing, so there is a higher meaning to that message there for you. Very much an emotional energy here with the Ace of Swords. How do you perceive your partner, Virgo? Virgo partner for Virgo. Oh, beautiful. We have the Page of Cups. This person is... Let me expand first on the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is an authentic love. This is coming from a place of emotional intelligence, but also the purest form of that. So you see them as an authentic love. They're extending their cup to you, and this cup is one that can... I'm noticing the fish and I'm thinking swimming. I'm getting images of a fish swimming through the ocean. So the cup they offer you, it's like it's not even... It doesn't even... the surface of what it is in a physical aspect, okay? The love, that in a sense of, it could be physical, but it could be just surface level love, okay? It's not what it appears on the surface. There's a fish in there, and this fish swims through the ocean and is free, and the ocean is everywhere, okay? This is worldly love. This is, again, relating back to that world card that's above here. They're offering you something that feels like it's universal, feels like it's everlasting. 1 cup, if we go back to that energy, oh, it didn't focus there. That's high energy there. If we go back to what we were saying about the Ace of Swords, if we go back to that 1, when there's 1 of something, we have that 1 cup, we have that 1 love, and the Ace of Cups represents unconditional love. The 2 cards in the deck that represent unconditional love are the Empress and the Ace of Cups. So here they're offering you that Ace of Cups, but within that is the ability to transform, that ability to adapt, and that fish to swim through that ocean, to go wherever you want to go together. So it's as though they're not judging you, they're allowing you to be yourself, they're allowing you to be authentic in yourself as well, and be free, feel free within yourself. And there's a level there of wherever you go, they're there for you, their love is within you, and vice versa here. That's what I'm getting with that message. There's something different about their love as well. So you see this person, they're wearing quite, I would say quite beautiful clothes here that represent springtime to me. Like that's just the message I'm getting, the energy that I'm getting. And if we go back to the idea of the leaves, you know, the blossoming of spring, it's as though your love just grows year by year. And it does so in such a creative and colourful way. Sorry, Virgo, the energy around this card is quite heavy. I'll just let that focus for you. Okay, this is why that's happening. Sorry. The reason why this card was coming out of focus was because Spirit wanted me to ask you to look at this card, to look at this individual, and in their authentic form, in their page form, and think about who they represent to you on an authentic level. So if we just take a moment now, I'll just take 10 seconds to let you look at this card and think about who they represent to you in an authentic way, okay? Okay, and the pages are about the beginnings. They're about feeling like there's more to come. So as this love is unconditional, I'm getting on a relationship level, on the fundamental level here, you see that this is a relationship that just grows and grows over time, because the page is the first page of a book, and then it moves forward into every other page, and those pages can go on for as long as need be to create a full story. You know, so this story is just the beginning. I mean, you both could have established yourselves long ago, or feel like you've established yourselves long ago, but then there's still this everlasting story that's going to be created. There's just more and more, this more creative energy that is going to flow, that springtime energy. And it could be winter. It could be winter, Virgo, and it could be everywhere's covered in snow, but you would still find something within that, some meaning within that. Let's say it's snow, the whiteness of snow, the purest level, you know, the preservation of the cold. I don't know why I had to say that, the preservation of the cold. I guess they're looking after you and they want to look after you in times where you feel cold, and they want to give you warmth as well. Virgo, I just shuffled for a moment as I was talking, and I'm trying not to get emotional because the next card out is the Ace of Cups. So I just said about the Ace of Cups, I said that the Page of Cups is holding the Ace of Cups, the unconditional love. This is how you perceive them. This is how they're coming to you, Virgo. This is beautiful. You see them as offering unconditional love. This hand is being extended, and it's pure, it's white. Again, going back to the Ace of Swords, that white hand. Authentic love, overflowing love, unconditional love. I feel like I've expanded on this energy already, but maybe we'll just have a look at this card for a moment. Look at how wow, look at that, the focus on that. the water is flowing and it's creating this, let's say this is an ocean, because we were thinking earlier about the fish swimming through the ocean and feeling free. So you see how this cup is overflowing into this let's say this is an ocean. Okay, this is ever expanding. And again, that sense of dreaminess, the dreaminess because of the cloud here. I wanted to say dreaming, so I'm just going to analyse where I said that. Dreaming, the dreaminess, the dreaming. Okay, I'm getting that either you or them, they go to sleep and they try and think of you. This could be your side, Virgo, but one of you is actively trying to fall asleep and dreaming of one another. And this could be just feeling like one of you. This is an outside message, but it's saying that you feel like there's something here. You're looking for signs. You're looking for spiritual meaning. You could be, if you're away from one another, you could feel them. So if let's say you're trying to comfort yourself and you're alone, you're away from them for a moment, you're sensing their presence. Okay, you're sensing their presence. That's what I'm getting. But it's going to be as well that, okay, you're feeling them around you. Sorry, there's this intense message with this card. But the Ace of Cups, it's very much like the Empress energy. It's very much emotional intelligence and understanding and offering you unconditional love that is without any expectations, without any conditions attached to it. It's almost like if there were expectations, you've already established them and you already fulfill each other's expectations. There's no need here for any interesting. There's balance here. You both are on the same page. You both are on the same level. You both just intrinsically know what the other person needs here, and you're coming to that place now of really, it is a deeper knowing here with the Ace of Cups. The next card is okay, I'm going to just say what I've seen here. I really love your readings, Virgo. So we have the fish in the cup, and above here we have the bird. The fish dives deep within the sea. The bird flies in the wind, okay? So we have the water energy here, going deep into water energy and high into the air energy. So this is a relationship that is emotionally deep, has emotional depth, but it also has intellectual depth here. But in a way that feels natural, because again, this is fish, this is the birds, this is almost second nature to both of you. My guides are saying one with the world. That could resonate with one of you. The last card out for how you perceive your partner is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card of moving to calmer waters. So your partner, this is about how you see them actually, just on what I'm getting here is your partner, they take situations that could be lacking emotional clarity. They could be the most exposed situations where they could be, I guess, the meaning is scattered, okay? But what they do is they find the meaning and they transform it, and they find a higher purpose within those scattered situations here. And you see these swords I feel they're in this boat and they're going to calmer waters. So wherever they're going, wherever they're moving to, the waters beforehand were a little bit messy, a little bit cloudy, but then they move forward and look how calm that is, look how harmonious that is. But then look how this boat, these swords are penetrating this boat, and they're choosing to move forward with them. Now, some people could find these swords to be challenging. They couldn't, maybe they wouldn't take the time to understand these swords, but your partner, they look at them, they look within the mess, and then they create something out of it. They create something out of it, and then they penetrate their boat and they use it to move forward. So again, moving towards harmony, in a place also of disharmony. So I feel like this isn't what's happening, this is just what you see in them. You see someone that can create harmony, and perhaps when you're around them you feel a sense of harmony, and there's something in them that just naturally does that to energy, I feel like. Or perhaps you're perceiving that now as something that really places, they're saying peace of mind, that gives you peace of mind. So that's the last card for you, Virgo, for how you perceive your partner. And now we're going to look at the future of this relationship, and then we're going to close the reading with a poem. Virgo, I just had to pause the camera for a moment because a card flew out and it landed in a place that was quite hard to reach, and I feel like it was so hard to find this card that there was some sort of hidden meaning in it. So the card that did come through, I said to my guides, whatever card this is, it honestly just took me quite a while to retrieve this card, and I had to really, I was really determined to get this card. So I said, whatever this card is, I'm going to put this out as the first energy, as the future of this relationship. And the card that came forward was the Queen of Wands. Now, this may seem quite simple if you were to just have this card come out, but the King of Wands is in the current energy, sorry, I'm quite flustered, is in the current energy of your partner's side. So we have a true pair here. We have the King and the Queen of Wands. So this could be a message for one of you. The King and the Queen, they're again that fiery passion, they're the inspirational speakers, I feel like, of the deck. But what I feel I was guided towards here is to read the poem that I wrote, because one of my favourite poems, I've written a poem for every card in this deck, and when we close the reading I pull the poem, that I pull a card and I read the poem that represents the card, okay? But the Queen of Wands is one of my favourites, so I feel like they're asking me to read this as one of the future energy of this relationship. So some of you, if you want to, you can skip this, because I'm just going to read this poem quickly, and then we're going to move on and we're going to pull 4 more cards for the future of this relationship. But this does represent the future of your relationship, Virgo, so I feel like there could be a message in this, because it took me so long to find this card. 24. Their approach is often soft and gentle, and the desires they make are sincere, loving and protective over what is sentimental. They are dependable and caring to those near. They nurture their goals and ambitions, everything they hold close to their heart, providing inspiration in times of inhibition. They will do their best to fulfill this path. Wow. Queen of Wands. That's beautiful. So that was truly a divine message for one of you. One of you needed that, and that was very much made clear to me. And I hope whoever needed that. I feel like it was definitely guided for one of you. It could have been a message from someone that's looking over you. That was definitely there for a reason, and they're telling me that my guides are, so you'll know deep down, okay? The next card is, okay, wow, okay. 2 cards came out, 1 card came out and then the other fell out. We have the Emperor and we have the Star card. So this is a major arcana. This is the father of the deck, and we already have the Empress in your energy, Virgo. And we have the King of Wands in your partner's energy. And now we have the Queen of Wands in the future of this relationship, and we also have the Emperor in the future of this relationship. So we have the true pairs here, and we have the highest divine counterparts here. So wow, the energy is very, very strong, Virgo. You are both going to establish this relationship and build this foundation. You're going to do so in a way that is trustworthy and others can look to. It's almost like you're going to be a relationship where others can look to you, and in a way it's very reliable, because the Emperor, they rule their kingdom. They can rule the world, the Emperor. And that's because people trust them to do so. They've built themselves to a point where really their connection is in essence, in itself, fundamental for the structures, the structures of what it is to survive. These people rely on the Emperor for survival. So if you relate this back to a relationship, we think of really establishing this connection together to a point where you can be there, you can be the best versions of yourselves and go out and fulfill your purpose in life. And this isn't just about the purpose of this relationship, because this is establishing a firm divine counterpart relationship here with the Emperor and the Empress. This is also about establishing your life purpose and going in alignment with your life purpose, what you came here to do. And I'm noticing, sorry, I like to analyse my own language, because this is a channeling. And I said what there? I said what you came here to do. And as I said what, I kind of lost my voice there a little bit. And what I'm noticing there is what. I like to think when you ask a question and you say what, it's kind of like you're asking someone to define something for you. Okay, what is the meaning of life? What? You're asking for a definition, but really I feel like that can be. There is a message to this, I feel like that can be rather restrictive in a way, because you can't really define the meaning of life, okay? You can't really truly define it. It's about asking why. The why questions, where you really analyse it for yourself, and you take situations and you look at how you've reacted to situations and how you've expanded, and you ask why. You question, you contemplate. It's only when you question and contemplate on a deeper level, on a meaningful level, that you really are going to be able to come to those enlightenments, come to those realisations. So what I'm getting here with the Empress is that sense of not only structure, but being able to, again, coming back to the beginning of this reading, analyse that structure and grow from that structure and align with your purpose. And then the Star card is the next card out. The Star card is, wow, the father and the mother of the deck. So now I'm going to expand on this a little bit more, because I feel it's necessary. This person is wise. But when we think of the Emperor and Empress, okay, the Emperor is all of the kings. So The King of Swords he's mastered these energies. The King of Swords is someone that people can turn to make big decisions, because the King of Swords will look at all the perspectives, all of the opinions of his kingdom, and then he will make the decision that's best for everyone. It may not even benefit himself, so to speak. You know, he has no ulterior motive. He's not being subjective here. He's quite frankly looking upon what is for the greater good, and he is very intellectually minded, so he's able to come to a place of objectivity within all of those subjective opinions and do so and move them forward. And again, that's that sense of trust, that level of trust. So you're going to be able to make these big decisions in the right way. And also, when we think of the King of Cups, we think of someone that's emotionally intelligent, that's able to feel a situation, and they go into a room, they don't just look at everyone on the surface, they look within these individuals, they feel these individuals, and then they create new sensations, they create new feelings from this experience that they have. You know, it's almost an innate sense to have empathy with people and be intuitively guided, you know, while they're interacting with people. So if you merge these two energies together, we have quite a strong commitment here for both of you. You know, because this is both of you, both of your energies. And then when we think of the King of Wands, we've looked at the King of Wands, and he's very persistent, very determined. He looks into the future, he sees where he needs to be, and he makes sure that he gets there. And he does so in a way that is admirable. He does so in a way that has true passion. And what is a heart? What is that watery energy without passion? So again, it's that sense of a strong, fiery heart that I was getting from your partner. And the King of Pentacles is a sense of a strong commitment, a long-term commitment for both of you, where your values and your morals are aligned together. You know, you see a sense of duty in this connection, and you're willing to fulfill those promises and make sense of those duties in relation to all of the complexities of your lives. That, again, I feel like it's quite substantial here with the Empress and the Emperor. So the next card is the Star card, and the Star card is one of my favourite cards. This is a sense of having hopes and dreams and following those hopes and dreams. This lady, she is bare, and it's because she's had to go through so much, and through doing so, she has then, I don't know why I need to say that, because I wouldn't usually say that she's had to go through so much, but okay, let's go back. So through doing so, she's really aligned with her core desires and what her purpose is in life. So again, that sense of urge, that sense of fire in desire, because I wouldn't usually use the word desire, so I'm thinking, okay, fire, passion. Okay, so she's following her urges, she's following her passions, but also through the challenges she's had to face, she then sees really what is meaningful in life, what really does have purpose, and how she's going to follow something that is going to be fulfilling on a deeper level to her. You know, not just the mundane relationships, you know, not just the fundamental aspects of a relationship, but a relationship that truly is based on hope and dreams. And, you know, that star, that may be far away, you know, there may be dreams that you both have that are far into the future that you have not reached yet. But it's that sense of planting the seeds here and wanting to water them, and watering those seeds in order for them to grow into this hope, into this dream, and moving forward with that. So both of you have this sense of higher purpose in this relationship, and that's really, it is a major arcana as well. So you're doing so here, you're planting the seeds, and it's blessed, it's a blessing. Okay, you see this as a blessing, so you see this relationship as a blessing for your higher good, to follow your purpose, to follow your higher good. Yeah. And we get that tree again, the tree in the background. That tree again, that tree that has a bird on it, and that bird, we saw that bird that flew through the wind in the Ace of Cups. That stream here. Amazing. I'm hearing someone say there wouldn't be any land without them. There wouldn't be any land without them. So you see the land here, how this lady, she's bare on this land. She's saying there wouldn't be any land without them. But it isn't in a fatalistic way. It's almost in a way of, they are part of my world. My world doesn't exist without them. So again, it's that idealism I'm feeling. And it's not, you know... It's very much interesting to see idealism next to the Emperor, because the Emperor is a serious long-term commitment. The Emperor is someone that is committed, devoted. They are the father. They are about following those promises and keeping those promises, and really, you know, quite serious individuals. But then we have this next to the Star card, which is about hopes and dreams and fate and ideals, and you know, you're merging the two energies together here, and you're successfully doing so. So the next two cards, okay, the Ten of Wands. Now, I did see this in my mind's eye earlier, the Ten of Wands, and I wondered why. And now my guides have given me the ability to really look at this card and see where that was coming from. You both take pride in this responsibility. So you see this individual, they're holding these wands and they're moving forward. And they're not taking any of these away, they're not dropping any of them, they're quite firmly, they have a hold of them and they're persevering, they're moving forward. And this is telling me that both of you take great responsibility in this relationship and you're not going to compromise. You want everything. You want to make sure that you're approaching all of your aspirations in life, all of your passions together, and you're reaching the 10. It may be heavy, but for you it's not heavy because there's so much passion here, especially with the King and Queen of Wands. I mean, the wand energy is there, the King and the Queen of the wand energy, they're both there, Virgo. So if we have the 10 of Wands, this is saying that you have enough passion in both of you to be able to carry every single level of these wands, every single level of these passions, and you're doing so because you have the passion. If you didn't have the passion to hold all of these wands and you had to walk along with them, then all of that responsibility would make these wands fall everywhere, wouldn't they? They would scatter. But because you have such strength and hope in this connection, you don't see it that way. And I don't think you ever would, Virgo. That's what I'm getting. I'm saying that perhaps other people in these situations, you know, relationships that weren't built on such trust, relationships that were perhaps misguided, they wouldn't be able to hold all these wands. They wouldn't be able to have this much responsibility. But with you, it's not the same level at all. It's not the same energy at all. It's very much on its own foundation. It's very much, you've set the standards, Virgo, you've set them high, and you're not going to, you see this as something that's beautiful, you see this as something that can grow. You see how those the nature that's growing out of these wands, you see this as growth. You don't see this as anything heavy. And I feel like that's why you are the Emperor and the Empress, because Spirit wouldn't give you anything that you couldn't handle. And if this relationship is intense, if this relationship is very much long-term and serious, and you both have a life purpose that you're trying to fulfill, it's as though you've both come together because you both can be part of this. You both can build this together, and what it is that you're going to build is going to be quite substantial. And I feel like this is in the future as well. For some of you, this could have happened already, but I feel like, because there are highly inspirational people that follow me, some of these people that follow me, that email me, incredibly inspiring. But I'm getting here the Star card. The Star card here, I feel, is very much planting the seeds and following that hope and dream. So I feel like there's this fate, there's this hope, there's this purpose, this deeper purpose in this connection, and you both feel it. And it's coming to light now. It's coming together, and it's very much a responsibility that you want to have. It's very much a responsibility that you're very much grateful and appreciative for, and you are, because it's what you've always needed. And again, that sense of need as a necessity. So I'm saying this is very much a divine necessity. Last card, please, for Virgo, the future of this relationship. Very beautiful energy, Virgo. Loving, should I say. There's loving and warm energy around both of you. Wow, incredible. The last card is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment, and that sense of equilibrium, that sense of emotional understanding that we've been feeling in this connection has come out now. And we have the Ten of Wands, and next to that straight away the Ten of Cups. So you take great fulfillment in this commitment, in this devotion that you have for one another, and it feels like family. It feels like, I have to say, it's a deep connection. It's a very deep connection, and I'm sensing the emotional intelligence between you both, and it's almost telepathic at this point. And you see how those cups, they're flowing across the card. They reach it to the other side, don't they? So it's as though through any obstacle, through any sense of separation or any stagnation, you see, if you imagine the sky as in itself just, okay, there's nothing there, let's say, at the top of this card, you both find a way to build emotion in places that feel empty. And it's not just emotion, it's a stream. And I'm going back to the beginning and the vision I had, and I wanted to relate it back to the last card, and I'm trying to think of a way that I can, and immediately I'm getting a vision here of, you see these thoughts that these individuals are representing that are running around in your head as you're on the floor, and they jump into you, and they turn into light, they fade into you, they absorb into you and turn into light. And what I'm getting here is, you see that light? You see the light flowing from those cups? That's emotions, that's fulfillment, that's feeling abundant, feeling content within yourself and emotionally intelligent. So this is all that you've grown. You've grown this from everything that you've been through, and you've grown your thoughts, and you've established your thoughts over feeling so isolated inside yourself, and your partner here has come right next to you, and they're in this with you, they're supporting you, they're holding you, and you know there's even there's a family here. You know, you don't have to feel alone. You feel a sense of deep connection, a sense of deep bond. And what comes with the deep bond of marriage, Virgo? Keeping those promises to one another, knowing that you're always going to be there for each other, and having true faith in one another. This isn't just a promise. This is very much something based on a higher level of faith. So 2 tens here, truly establishing all of the passion you can, the highest amount of passion you can, and the highest amount of emotional fulfillment. Incredible. There's a lot of possibility in this. There's a lot of potential for the future, and you're not taking it lightly. You're not. So now I'm going to pull a card, and it's just to close the energy for the reading. And as I said earlier, I've written a poem for every card in this deck, so the next card I pull is going to be the closing energy, and this is where I take a step back and I allow your intuition to take over. So let me just read that this is about following an urge, following a feeling, that there's something deeper. There's something deeper. Do you see how this person, they're leaving these cups behind in order to walk up that mountain and find the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is equilibrium. It's a sense of a whole connection, an equal exchange of love, and two people coming together and sharing those cups and becoming one. So again, this sense of being pulled towards something, as I said in the beginning with the Eight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the poem that I read is going to reflect this energy, and I feel like it really does relate to your current energy regarding love, Virgo. So I would relate it to perhaps relate it to your current energy as it stands. And for those of you that are into numerology, the page that the Eight of Cups is on is 77. Okay, oh, interesting. It's not on 77, it's on 75, but for some reason I had two sevens in my mind, so 77, if that may be of significance to you. If you want to know 75, that is 3. So, wow, sorry, that just 3 is the Empress, and that's what we've been talking about this whole time. So really, this is moving forward and moving towards a maternal energy, moving towards a energy of creation, of unconditional love, as the Empress represents. Sorry, I said the Emperor there as well. So it's almost like you both have to exist together as one, the Emperor and the Empress, but I was more referring to the unconditional love aspect. So now, let me just read this poem for you, Virgo, and then I'll allow you to analyse this yourself, and I'll show you the poem. I've never read this poem before until now, Virgo, and I've just noticed I missed out a word here, but I feel like you can fill in the blank, so I'll let you do that. This endeavour is worth pursuing. They will it with their mind and soul. So there was the blank. They will blank it with their mind and soul. These feelings will keep on brewing, and their natural instinct is to follow. They feel acceptance for who they are, and much more journey is in sight afar. Longing to fulfill inner strength in heart, they must now complete their life path. Wow, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible, Virgo. Their life path. What was I saying about the divine purpose? The purpose, and especially here for your partner, I have to say. But you can tell just in the future of this relationship. I'm just going to read this again and then I'll show you. This endeavour is worth pursuing. They will fill in the blank, it, with their mind and soul. These feelings will keep on brewing, and their natural instinct is to follow. They feel acceptance for who they are, and much more journey is in sight afar. Longing to fulfill inner strength in heart, they must now complete their life path. So if I was going to point out anything from this poem, I would say immediately, they must now fulfill their life path. And that 75, that breaks down to a 3. And I keep thinking it's 77, I'm sorry, but it's not. So 77 could be significant, and also the number 3. And the 3 for me, I was thinking of unconditional love with the number 3. And I said that for the 3 of Swords as well, if you remember. I said I'm seeing that as unconditional love, actually. So the number 3 is very much part of this reading, but also, again, 77. So take note of this and relate it back with your intuition to your individual love journey, Virgo. So that concludes your reading, Virgo. Thank you for sharing your journey with me. As always, This is your energy and I am just the messenger. For those of you that want to join me in the extended portion of this reading, we're going to go over the deeper meaning of this, because this is the story, this is the details, and then we go into the deeper purpose for your energy and the deeper purpose of your partner's energy, and we pull a couple of poems and we again analyse, as we did with the Queen of Wands here, this surprise poem that was in the future of your relationship, and also as we did with this card here. So I'm looking forward to really trying to understand this connection on a deeper level. Sorry, this is very much a beautiful reading and a strong energy. Just having a moment. One of you just asked me to pull one more card before I go, so I'm going to pull a card. Oh, interesting. I do have another deck here. It's a deck that I painted over. And as I'm glad to be back, I'm going to pull a card from this deck. Okay. So the card that came out for you, the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is that harmonious card that we were talking about in your partner's energy here. We were discussing at the beginning, but I have painted over the pentacles and the nature around them that is abundant with the colour purple. It's quite a deep purple, I would say, an indigo purple, and I feel like this represents your crown chakra and your third eye, you know, this spiritual, you know, this is telling me that you're surrounded by this deep sense of intuition, this deep sense of meaning, this higher meaning. And, you know, whatever you see in this card, because I wasn't going to expand on this, I just had the feeling I had to pull this for you, and it is, I guess, a last gift to you before we say goodbye. And I do miss you, Virgo. I do miss you when we leave, so that is a special meaning, a special message for some of you. Beautiful. So I'm sending you all of my love and all of my light and the greatest blessings in your movements forward in this relationship. It's a beautiful reading.